Hello, and welcome to my channel, Miss Tarot. How are you guys? I hope you've been well. I would like to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel and everyone who watches my videos. If you could please give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, leave a comment. I would love to be able to answer them. And thank you so much. If you would like to send me an email, all of that is going to be listed in the information at the bottom of the video. Okay, so tonight we're going to do a reading for all signs for June. It's June the 1st. Well, I think it's midnight, so it's technically the 2nd. We're going to do a video tonight, and we're going to do all signs. The full moon this month is going to be in Sagittarius on the 4th, and the new moon will be in Gemini on the 18th. Oh boy, so it's the strawberry full moon in Sagittarius coming right up. We have all of our graduates coming up. Everyone's getting ready to graduate high school. I have one getting ready to graduate high school. It's very exciting. I'm shuffling the cards. We'll see what comes out. We're going to be drawing cards on the energy. The energy is very interesting right now. There's a lot of structure energy, then there's a lot of fire energy, and then there's a lot of things being revealed type of energy. And here on Miss Tarot, we read energy, okay? And that is the most important part. So this will be like your energy for the month, okay? So we're doing general for everyone. Let's see here. We got the 4 of Wands, and that is the card. This card is all about your home, refreshing your home, how you mentally think of your home with the yellow. It's all about like the way that you maintain your home. And it's getting to be summer, so it is the time when we have company and those types of things over to our home, and so that is going to set the energy for the reading. So the reading is about home. Oh, and how we feel about home. Now we're drawing the card that crosses that first card. What are we going to learn? What is our best approach regarding home? Oh, and it's interesting because we have the Knight of Pentacles, crossing the 4 of Wands. And both of them, the background of both of them are yellow, and yellow is the color of our mental state, and also the color of our just like how it's summertime, and it's the color of the sun. And this month here in about 20 days or so, we are going to be having the solstice, and that's interesting. Bottom of the deck is the sun. You cannot make this stuff up. Oh my goodness. So it is time for us to have a lighter energy, that's a very positive card, and so those 3 cards are setting the tone for the reading for the rest of the zodiac sign. And like zodiac signs, but it's more important about the energy. So now we're going to draw a card for Gemini. Happy birthday, Geminis. It's Gemini season. My Gemini is about to graduate from high school. Getting through high school, right? Like graduating right after the pandemic. Ew. Well, I always say high school it's never the best time, really. It wasn't. Life gets so much better, Ooh, well, how fitting and how appropriate for the Geminis, the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is a very mental energy. We read the energy, not genders. And the Queen of Swords is all about her connection to the higher mind, the higher states of mind, and it's really important that we, especially because Pisces is going to go retrograde at the end of the month, and we want to be firm and a good foundation with our higher states of mind. And, like we have Delta, Theta, Alpha, Beta, all these different states in our brain. And we cycle through those at different types of consciousness, like when we're asleep and when we're awake and when we're in our left brain and when we are in our right brain. And those types of things are really important and represented by the Queen of Swords. And it's interesting because above her, there is a bird above her head as well. And that also represents that higher consciousness into that realm, and that is our connection to our higher self and to our soul family, and that is a way that we can get guidance there. So Geminis, as if you're not heady enough, please take the time this month to connect to your higher mind. I know that my Gemini just did a passion project on Nietzsche, which I found to be really fun because I hadn't really read Nietzsche since high school myself. And I was like, oh, I remember that. All my friends were reading it, and I tried to read it. And I read some of it. And we discussed it at the coffee shop and all. Very interesting is Nietzsche. In that higher mind place. And now we're going to move on to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer. Aw, how are you guys doing? Lots of Cancer energy right now. And, all those things, like, don't be a Krabby Patty, Cancer. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, talk about that. We have the Eight of Swords. Now, what is really interesting about the mental energy in Cancer with the Eight of Swords is that this is when you can really talk yourself up into a bad place, because you see there's the mental down at the bottom. She's standing there. She's wrapped up. The swords represent all these self-defeating thoughts. So it's really important for Cancers to have a positive self-dialogue. Get up, do mirror work. Look in the mirror. Say, you're brave today. You have courage today. You can handle whatever this day brings to you today, Cancer. And that's very important because you may feel like you have a lot of burdens. And you may. But those burdens will feel a lot lighter if you take control of your self-talk and don't let other people around you get you down. Take that space to yourself to have that time to go and talk yourself up. Have that chat with a friend that when you walk away, you feel better. Because if there are burdens and things in your life that are bringing you down, or if you're around negative people that say things to you that aren't so nice, or if you have a lot of challenging mental work, make sure that you take that space so that you can keep feeding yourself. in a positive way. Very important for you to have that attitude and to have that self-care in the month of June. And now we're going to move on to Leos, the lovely Leos. How are you guys doing? Yep. You know, like Leo energy. Big. You know, feeling big, huh? The sun card and everything like that. Well, talk about that. King of Pentacles. So, Leos, you are all about creating that life where you're the king, and that, you know, the king always has to see who's in their court and how is the court thinking of you. How are they contributing with you? What do you value? What do you need? How are you delegating? That is such a fitting card for, you know, the king always has to make sure that everything is gathered and planted and growing and doing well for summer, because the king is responsible for everyone to get through the winter. And so that is such a positive card for Leos. And now we're going to go on to the Virgos. Hello there, Virgos. Team Virgo. I mean, is it a blessing? Is it a curse? We don't know, right? I mean, as a member of Team Virgo with an ascending Pisces, I think having that Libra moon, I'm always just like, I'm always, and it's an interesting dynamic. Oh, Team Virgo. 8 of Cups. Walking on to the wish, you know, with the 9 of Cups. Walking toward your 9 of Cups. And it is really important for Virgos to believe in magic and wishes, and to know that you can bring those into your life, and that you can move toward and walk toward that. Burn those candles. Put out that positive energy. Visualize your beautiful life and go toward that 9 of Cups. And be sure that you don't drown in that 9 of Cups by drinking. Make sure that you have moderation or sobriety. Very important. I know that I truly, especially with Pisces going retrograde at the end of the month, keeping yourself in your right state of mind is going to be very important this summer for Virgos. Libras. Transformation with the Death card. What are you transforming? You know, Libras. I mean, like, weighing that out, having the scale. What I really love about the Death card is that there is a child at the bottom right there with the horse, you know, and that is that childlike energy, that transformative energy that is so very important with endings and new beginnings. It's very important to have, like I always say, whenever say I'm giving up something in my life, my prayer is always, universe, please take from me the things that aren't serving me, and do it in a way where I fill my life up with things that are serving me, so that I don't miss those things. Please help me to redirect my attention and my energy to something that serves me much better. And you wouldn't believe it, like, that's how in my life I have been able to quit, like, smoking cigarettes without feeling the need to smoke cigarettes. Or, you know, for a long time, for about 10 years, I would occasionally smoke cigarettes, but it wasn't a daily event. And it was just so interesting, because I would always think, like, how is it that these things in my life that I know are not like the best for me, but in moderation, right? But then I didn't feel that craving, but I think it is in that state of mind. And I think that's really important. So keep that in mind, Libra. And now we're going to move on to the Scorpios. Well, lots of shuffling, huh? Let's see. Oh, look at that. The Six of Swords. And, I mean, that is so good because with the Six of Swords, that is the energy of moving forward in your life. So what have you been stuck and what are you moving forward in that serves you much better? It seems like there's a lot of forward momentum. There's a lot of energy for a lot of different signs moving the energy forward. And, you know, it's really, really good because in the summertime, it's kind of like that time when we have to keep the energy moving forward because that's when, especially living in the north like I do, it's the best time to get out and about. It's the best time to get up early and get things done. It's the best time to, I mean, we have more hours of daylight than ever, right? You can really maximize the best of every day, you know? So try to make sure that you utilize the day, seize the day, carpe diem. And that is the message for the Scorpios. Oh, how cool. We're going to take a quick little intermission here, and we're going to draw a Vortex card. Because whenever I'm in the car, especially like, I always consider the car like a vortex type of energy because it's spinning, the engine's moving, all of that. And so like, I always kind of consider like coming out to my car to do a reading is like getting into the vortex. And recently traded in my car and went back to, I went from Subaru to Cadillac. And I have to say, and this is more like, it's an SR and an SRX4, I guess. And I really like it. And it's like a fancy Subaru. But it's still a hatchback. And it still gets over 20 miles to the gallon. So I'm like, well, I can live with that. Because I like the way it rides. I just have to say, like, I love my Escalade, but it was too much car for me since the kids are older and I don't have to drive a lot of people around. But boy, you know, as far as used vehicles go and luxury goes, and I know that a lot of people don't necessarily think that Cadillacs are the best, I feel like I like when the pedal comes to my foot. I like my warming and cooling seats. I like all of those things, and it makes me happy. So that's what I decided to do, and very pleased. This is my old lady car, and I love it. And if you haven't had the chance, or if you have, the most luxury for your buck is a used Cadillac with low mileage. Just make sure you keep your oil changed and you take care of it, and you know, it's a lovely ride. Ooh. Here we go with the Vortex. Flawed premises can attract true and unwanted evidence. Ooh, that's interesting. And with Pisces going retrograde, this is probably be a good thing to keep in mind. Now, I don't have my reading glasses in the car. And I don't need bifocals, which is good. But I have prescription readers, and they're fantastic. But I'm going to bear with me. Okay. So, if you were to hear a false premise again and again until you yourself began to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this false premise it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it's true. And really, and that's an interesting thing with what I've learned with Abraham Hicks, is that the truth is what you tell yourself over and over. So when a person, say, like, you view a person as believing their own lies, well, to them, it is a false premise appearing true. Because what becomes true to us is our inner dialogue that we repeat and ruminate and create over and over again. And that is why, like, in Christ consciousness and those, being, mindful of your thoughts, taking control of the mind and deciding the thoughts that you're going to think. Very, very important. Wow. That inner dialogue and how we treat ourselves, that sets the foundation for the experiences that we have with our lives, with, from everyone from the mailman to, like, our relationships with our children and loved ones. And it's really important to have control of that dialogue and to focus on the positive aspects of the people in your life, because then, where your energy goes, that's what flows, right? And that's what comes back to you. So it's really important to not dwell on things that piss you off. It's really important to see that one little thing that's a good thing and say, they were on time. They showed up today. I'm going to focus on that. They did this little thing. They were thoughtful of me. There might be a lot of things happening that you may or may not dig. But if you focus your energy on that one little thing and you find a way to appreciate something, that will turn the energy around in time, and it will create a much better atmosphere for you. Very important. Thank you so much, Abraham Hicks. And now we're going to go back to the zodiac reading. And I believe we are on Sagittarius, and we are having the full moon in Sagittarius. Gosh, we gotta love them truth-telling Sagittarius people. Like, Sagittarius is the opposite sign of Gemini. And it's really interesting because Sagittarius energy is such a catalytic energy. Ooh, Sagittarius, you have the devil. And the interesting thing about the devil card is that these people can slip those chains off at any time. It is a choice, but some people get caught up in addiction and devil energy being bad. But when we think about this energy, okay, think about the Lovers card, the Gemini card. It's the angel and then the lovers, just kind of like the devil card with the two lovers there. That it's like that, where your energy flows and your thoughts are. And this is the card of Capricorn. And Capricorn deals with the material things. And I believe that astrologically speaking, Sagittarius is in a place where they are dealing with how they earn their abundance. So this is very appropriate for you. And focusing on the material world and how you approach the material world, what you think about having your needs met in the material world. And, that is a way to utilize that devil energy. And that can be very positive because Capricorns are all about that climb up the ladder and doing well and having money and putting into savings and managing their resources in a proper way so that they feel secure. Sometimes to an extreme, but a lot of times not, because a lot, in my experience with Capricorns, is that they'll save up and then they'll have like a huge expenditure that may or may not be logical, just depending on where they are. But I mean, they created that and they know that they can create it some more. And that is a very positive way to work with that energy. And now we come to Capricorn. How interesting. Especially with like the Capricorn card coming out for Sag and the Scorpio death card coming out for Libra. So you might want to, like, if those are your signs, you might want to watch more than just your sign. So Capricorns, what's coming up for you? What is coming toward the Capricorns for June? And what is the best way for them to utilize the energy? Knight of Swords. Fast-moving mental energy. The Knight of Swords. I mean, that is the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. Maybe it would be good for Capricorns to really be connected with their mind, but also know that their mind could be moving really fast right now. And that it could be like that ice cream headache kind of fast moving mental energy. So taking that moment to like reflect and slow down, breathe, and then move forward, because I have this like feeling of your mentality is going so quickly that it could be like June could be like the ice cream headache for you, which, like ice cream is good, right? But you gotta eat it slow. And that's what Spirit wants you to know, Capricorns, for June. Aquarius. Talk about fast-moving mental energy. Aquarius. What is June? What's coming toward Aquarius for June? Look at that, Aquarius. The Queen of Pentacles. Well, it seems like you are definitely taking stock. The Queen of Pentacles is, she's like, she's growing her garden. She's having good communication. She is definitely just like planning for the fall and the winter and getting everything together to have a wonderful year. And that is super important. So Aquarius, just keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it right. And now we go to the Pisces. So how are the fishies? I really need to get some fish. And if you're a Pisces, you may want to get an aquarium or just a small one. Maybe a goldfish. Just, some running water in your backyard. Something like that. Because that is so good for your soul. And I mean, as my ascending is Pisces, I always find it to be very very good for my mental health. And since Pisces is going retrograde, it's good to have a friend, you know, an aqua friend. Yeah, the Chariot. And, you know, the Chariot is a card of Cancer, you know, and Cancer has that 8 of Swords. So, Pisces, be very mindful of what you're moving your energy toward and keeping it balanced. You see how the Chariot, the black and the white Sphinx, you know, and how you are moving yourself along and the type of energy that you have, you know, and keeping your mind in a good place. Very, very important. And keeping your emotions in balance. So having water, going to the river, going to the pool, whatever, having a bath, whatever you need to keep yourself mentally and emotionally balanced, because Pisces is going to be retrograding at the end of the month. Or Neptune will be retrograding at the end of the month. And that brings us around to the Aries. How are you guys doing? All of that Aries energy. Oh my goodness, you guys are so the Hierophant. And that is you. Like, oh my goodness. Well, there you go. So, all of that red, all of that fire, all of that type of energy. So, the structure of our spirituality has a geometric form, and Aries, I mean, like, kind of like think about how the ram's horns have like the same type of structure as, say, like the golden mean, and how that form and structure holds itself and it's present in everything. That is the same as the energy of the Hierophant and the spiritual map of all of us, because we represent that energy as well. And so tuning into that energy and being a part of it and understanding that structure, you know, and how it moves. And I think that will really help you, Aries, to not take things so personally and to see that bigger whole and to be able to see it through like that spiral. So that is what I am getting for you. And then today, Taurus, you are last, but definitely not least, you know. So much good Taurus energy right now. You guys know what's up, huh? All that Taurus. This is like your time, you know. Them barbecues, friends, all that good Taurus, home, family, baseball, and strength. And looky there, you know, taming the lion, you know. So I would say for Taurus, do not overindulge, you know. Tame your lion. Make sure that, like, yeah, you're going to that baseball game. Yes, you're having a few beers, but you're not going to drive home, you know. Be careful with yourself, because you don't want to allow voracious appetites to control you. You know? Very, very important for you. And now we're going to do a wish card for everyone. You know, like, wish cards, they always make me feel so happy. Kind of like my inner teenage self. Like, oh, that wish. You know, that wish upon a star type of energy. And that is what we will close the reading with. I just want to thank everyone for joining me. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for, I just want to thank YouTube for having this platform for people to connect on this level, because I know that, like, when I set my intention to connect with the people who will benefit from my gift And I think it's really important, and it's very valuable, and I really appreciate that. So if you would please give a thumbs up, subscribe, share on Instagram, share on Twitter, share on Facebook, if you're still Facebooking, and then all the other things that you can share on. There's like so many different platforms. I personally, I'm only adept at YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm at. And I think like that's like more than enough, but there's like all kinds of stuff. Oh, looky there. Very important, the Hermit. The Hermit holds the light to look within the soul, the collective soul, which is like one of my favorite bands, actually. That self-reflection, that when you have that self-reflection, then you're able to speak from a truthful place. You're able to connect your mind, your body, and your soul. And this is the card of the Virgo, and that energy. Talk about Nietzsche. His story is all about that Hermit. And with that, we close. You have yourselves a lovely June, and hopefully I will have it together enough to be able to provide some more readings this month. But if not, we got June in, and I just ask that everyone who this will benefit finds their way, and I appreciate and I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful June. Bye.